We've all heard of the term ego before, but there's a lot of confusion as to what the ego actually is. Many think that the ego is synonymous with being egotistical or selfish. Others think of Freud and his theory of the ego, id, and the superego when they hear this word. I want to explain to you how I use the term and how I understand ego. The ego is neither good nor bad. It's not a good or a bad thing. It's instead a very human thing. There's nothing wrong with the ego. We all have one. And our ego is actually there to keep us safe. It's designed to help us survive. The problem is that for most people, most of the world's population, their egos have completely taken over. Their egos are in the driver's seat. So, what is the ego? The ego is the voice in your head, the thinker in your head. You're not the voice in your head. You are the awareness that is aware of the voice. Most people, they don't know this. Most people think that because they have the thoughts, that must be who they are. But it's not actually who you are. The voice in your head is your ego. The real you is the awareness that is aware of this voice. Now, because ego implies unawareness, awareness and ego can't coexist. When we are in our ego, we are completely unaware. We are unconscious. We're not aware of the thoughts that we're thinking. Our thoughts are just happening and we believe them to be real and to be true. So when I talk about being unconscious, what I mean is that you are so identified with your thoughts, with your story, with whatever you are experiencing, that you're no longer aware of these being thoughts in your head. Think of it like this. Sometimes when you watch a movie, you are aware that it's a movie. You see the screen and you know that you're sitting here in your living room or at the cinema, but sometimes you become so engrossed by the movie that you forget where you are. You forget who you are, and you forget that you are experiencing this movie. You believe that you're a part of it. You experience it as if you're a part of it. Being so engrossed by the movie on the screen that you forget all about you is becoming unconscious. So when this happens in our everyday life, we're controlled by the ego. We're no longer in control. Our ego is in control of us. Now, when I or other teachers tell people that there's a voice in their head, many will answer, "What voice?" And some even get angry or they're going to deny it. Now, the part of you that is getting angry or defensive is the voice. That's the thinker. That's the unobserved mind. The part of you that asks, "What voice?" is the voice. Most people are completely unaware that there's a voice in their head. I mean, have you ever noticed it? That incessant stream of thinking, of dialogue, of the involuntary trains of thought, the compulsive thinking, and all the emotions and feelings that come along with them. That would be your egoic mind. If you've never noticed it before, take a moment, notice it now. Notice and see that there's a voice in your head that's talking, commenting on, narrating, arguing with, or agreeing with everything that I say. I present to you your ego. We call this stream of consciousness, these incessant and involuntary thoughts, the voice, egoic, because there's a sense of self, of I, ego, in every thought that you have. This voice in your head can almost be described as an entity that's taken possession of you. Because you are in control. Are you actually in control? Most of the time, no, not so much. Maybe you weren't even aware of the voice in your head until this very moment. If you found this useful, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to know more about working with me, click the links. I always offer a free connection call to new and potential clients, so don't hesitate to contact me.